amazing. It's miraculous.
How else do you explain it? Yeah, somebody could have built it, but somebody had to tell them how.
In the small chapel in Santa Fe, New Mexico, some believe in a powerful miracle of faith, a miracle that resulted in this staircase. To fully understand the story, we have to go back to 1852. New Mexico wasn't even a state, annexed as a territory the previous year. The Sisters of Loretto left their mother house in Kentucky and undertook a perilous journey to the wild, desolate Southwest to open a girls' school.
And then it was time to build a chapel. They built this chapel out of their own inheritances.
Once the chapel was completed, the sisters realized they had no way to get to the choir loft. A staircase wasn't part of the original building plan.
Local carpenters said that it couldn't be built without taking away pews.
That's when the sisters began to pray, a novena to St. Joseph, the patron saint of carpenters.
Legend has it that on the 9th and final day of prayer, a man came to the chapel doors. He had a donkey and only a few simple carpentry tools. He was looking for work.
Some of the girls have reported his name was Jose. So logically, if you're praying through St. Joseph and an old man shows up like that and he builds the stairs, the girls went home and told everybody in the pueblos, oh, St. Joseph came to build the staircase.
The staircase was completed in just a few months, an incredibly short amount of time. Then the builder vanished without being paid. The spiral staircase is considered a miracle, not because of events attributed to it, but because of the way it was built. 33 steps with 2 complete turns of 360 degrees each. No nails, just wooden pegs, and it has no center support. The entire weight of the staircase appears to be supported at the bottom. But the staircase stands as sturdy as the day it was built. And, to add to the mystery, a few years ago, a core sample of wood from the staircase was analyzed by a U.S. naval scientist.
It took him about 15 months. And he told us that although the genus of the wood was a spruce, the subspecies of wood, he said, could not be identified with any known wood on Earth.
The staircase was even more miraculous when it was originally built. There was no railing. One false step and you could plunge 22 feet to the ground. None of the sisters ever fell, although many were afraid. And it's told that some even climbed down on their hands and knees. This railing was eventually added in the mid-1880s.
I definitely believe it was an answer to prayers to St. Joseph.
Just who is the man who built this miraculous staircase? Was it really St. Joseph? That legend has endured for well over a century now. But a Santa Fe historian has made a chance discovery in southern New Mexico. It's a discovery that has led her to a man of flesh and blood, and the one she believes is the fabled carpenter.
I believe it was the Frenchman that I have found coming to Santa Fe in September 1881. And his name was Francois-Jean Rochat.
Mary Jean Straw Cook's first substantial clue came from the man who built this irrigation system in Dog Canyon near Alamogordo, New Mexico. Rochat was a reclusive rancher mysteriously gunned down. Cook stumbled upon a museum exhibit bearing his name.
There were some sophisticated carpenter tools that were listed in the probate record of Rochat. And the average man just wouldn't have such sophisticated tools.
Cook has written a book on the Loretto Chapel and the staircase. She's been researching for the past 16 years and remembered seeing his name in the records kept by the Sisters of Loretto, a ledger indicating he was paid $150 for work he had done on the schoolhouse. That key piece of information places him in Santa Fe at exactly the right time.
I find him arriving in New York City. His name appears on the passenger list, and he has freight with him, which I believe is the staircase.
And why would he be here? Cook believes Rochat was a member of a secret group of French master builders called the Companions, many of whom came to the American West to help build chapels. And the lack of staircase was no oversight.
I have since learned from the French builders named the Companions, and I'm almost certain he was one, that the choir loft had to be in place before the staircase could be built. I've come to the reasonable conclusion that the staircase was cut in France and that he came to assemble it here.
Which could explain the short amount of time it took to complete the staircase. Cook felt sure of her theory after discovering Rochaw's 1895 newspaper obituary in the Santa Fe New Mexican.
Frank Rochaw was found dead at his ranch house near La Luz. He built the handsome staircase in the Loretto Chapel and at St. Vincent Sanitarium.
Whether you believe it's St. Joseph or whether you believe it's Francois Jean Rochaw, it's a matter of faith.
I wouldn't put it as a miracle. I think that it was certainly what we would call providential.
They had a quality craftsman do it, and built it. I'm a carpenter.
I think it's definitely a miracle. To even imagine that these things were done without modern tools is a marvel in itself, really.
The Catholic Church has never claimed a miracle occurred here, and the Loretto Chapel was deconsecrated as a Catholic church in 1971 when the Sisters of Loretto sold it for financial reasons. It is now maintained as a private museum. The magic and mystery still draw more than 250,000 people from all walks of faith from all over the world to visit this chapel each year.
The staircase is still very strong, and we use it maybe 400 times a year. We do restrict it for 1,000 people a day because we'd like for it to go into another millennium. A lot of people have claimed that their father or grandfather built the staircase. And whether it was an embodiment of St. Joseph, or whether it was somebody who came into this country and built a remarkable staircase, is not the point. Intervention is the real point. Intervention as a result of prayer was what made the difference.
Sumiko Corley reporting.